5 days. That's how long it took an autonomous AI agent to find a vulnerability in one of Snowflake's public code repositories, exploit it, steal a credential, and use that credential to log into Snowflake's internal Jira, the private ticketing system for their engineering, security, and bug bounty teams. No human wrote the exploit. No human fixed it when it failed the first time. The agent did all of it. And the bug it walked through had already passed GitHub's own AI security scanner, which looked right at it and saw nothing wrong. First, what did this? Red Agent is a tool from the security firm Wiz, an autonomous, AI-powered security researcher. You point it at a target and it hunts on its own, scanning code, spotting flaws, writing and running exploits. And this wasn't a rogue attack. It was authorized research under Snowflake's official vulnerability disclosure program on HackerOne, which is important, and we'll come back to just how much. But strip away the authorization and look at the capability, because the capability is the story. An AI that ran a full intrusion from recon to internal access by itself. Here's the flaw. Snowflake had a GitHub Actions workflow that ran whenever someone opened an issue on a public repo. It had a security gate meant to only let a specific trusted bot through. But that gate checked a field, pull-request.user.login, that only exists on pull requests. On an issue, that field is always null. So the check became null is not equal to the trusted bot, which is always true. The gate that was supposed to block everyone let everyone through. Any GitHub user on Earth could trigger the workflow just by opening an issue. And once you're through the gate, the workflow does something dangerous. It takes the issue's title, text you fully control, and pastes it directly into a shell script that runs on Snowflake's build machine. So the title field stops being a title. It becomes a command line. Red Agent crafted an issue title that breaks out of the surrounding script and runs its own commands, the classic injection pattern, except the untrusted input here is just the subject line of a bug report. Open an issue with the right title, and you're executing code inside Snowflake's infrastructure. This is the part that should get your attention. The agent's first exploit attempt failed. It used a hash character to comment out the rest of the line, but that also ate a closing parenthesis the script needed, so the runner threw a bash syntax error. A simple script would have just stopped there. Red Agent didn't. It read its own error message, understood that its payload had broken the shell syntax, rewrote the payload to close the command properly instead, and fired again. The second attempt worked. The agent debugged its own attack in real time with no human watching. That's not running a script. That's improvising. The working exploit exfiltrated a set of Jira credentials out through an out-of-band callback, a curl request carrying the base 64 encoded token to a server the agent controlled. Within seconds, the listener received it. That token belonged to a Snowflake QA account, and it authenticated straight into Snowflake's internal Atlassian Jira. It granted read access across their engineering projects, their security and compliance tracking, and, with a certain irony, their bug bounty program itself. An automated bug hunter had read access to the system where Snowflake tracks bug hunters. From a public repo's issue form to the company's internal ticketing, entirely by machine. Now the uncomfortable symmetry. This vulnerability was introduced in a pull request, and that pull request was scanned by GitHub Advanced Security, an automated code scanning tool. It analyzed the exact revision containing the vulnerable workflow, and it flagged nothing. GitHub Copilot was also a co-author that reviewed the change and called it all clear. So on the defensive side, AI tooling looked at this bug and missed it. On the offensive side, an AI agent found and exploited it in days. That's the real headline here, not a corporate spat, but a live demonstration that AI attackers can currently move faster than the AI defenders meant to stop them. So let's be straight about scope, because it cuts both ways. The alarming half is real. An autonomous agent ran a complete intrusion into a major cloud company's internal systems, and the automated defenses didn't catch the bug. But the reassuring half matters too. This was authorized research under Snowflake's disclosure program. Wiz was the only actor in the exposure window, confirmed by audit logs, and all test data was deleted. Snowflake patched it the same day they were told, June 23rd, and rotated the credential. And that headline you may have seen, about two companies fighting over whose AI is to blame, that's the softest part of the story. Wiz's own update says Copilot was just a reviewer that missed it, and it's not even clear the vulnerable code was AI written. The capability is the point. The blame game is a footnote. Here's the bottom line. Every step of this attack was a known technique. A GitHub Actions injection isn't novel. A null comparison logic bug isn't novel. Exfiltrating a token over a callback isn't novel. What's new is that no human strung them together. An AI agent did the scanning, spotted the collapsed logic gate, wrote the injection, hit an error, debugged itself, and pivoted into internal systems on a 5-day-old bug that AI defenses had already cleared. The skill it used to take to chain an intrusion like this is exactly the skill that's now being automated. Whether that agent is wearing a white hat or a black one is a choice, not a technical limitation. If you want the full written breakdown with sources, it's on the prompt injection blog, linked below. This channel does one clear breakdown of a real AI agent attack every single day, so subscribe and hit the bell. It's the one signal that tells me to keep making these. If this was useful, subscribe. New AI agent and security breakdowns every day.